Oh, and we forgot Leap Motion.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. That's coming out in the end of this month.
We'll be leaping in motion on the Oculus Rift using Roku and chilling out with all the others too. You know, that's what we'll do.
That was a good way to put it, using all of those names in one fluent sentence. So we're coming up after the break, and we're going to move on from this topic, but I felt we just had to let you know what's coming on the horizon. So we're going to be right back. We're coming up. Here's a word from a few sponsors right here, so stay tuned.
Promote your products and services. Reserve your display table. Advertise in the Caribbean American magazine. Call 954-292-6848. And be at the 4th Annual Expressions Caribbean American Exhibition on Thursday, June 6th from 5 p.m. until 9 p.m. at the Invery Hotel, Lauderhill. Presented by Unique Creations by Liz Incorporated. Join us in celebrating National Caribbean American Heritage Month with cultural entertainment by Island Band. With reggae, soca, R&B, and oldies. Hal Anthony, reggae artist and entertainer. Randy Corinthian on saxophone. The Sons of Maestro Violin Duo. There'll be lots of giveaways, fantastic show offers, free sampling, free parking, free admission, and a special gift to the first 100 guests. Don't miss the multicultural showcase of products and services. Reserve your display tables now for Expressions, the Caribbean American Exhibition, Thursday, June 6th from 5 p.m. until 9 p.m. at the Invery Hotel in Lauderhill. Advertise in the Caribbean American magazine. Call 954-292-6848. Sponsored by Amerijet, Ellis, Jet and Biden, Auto Nation, Sea Freight Agency, and Commercial Kings. Promote your products and services. Reserve your display table. Advertise in the...
All right, we are back a little earlier than normal. We just, played that little commercial right there for those of you that, looking to join us at that Expressions Live coming up this week. This week on Thursday, the Expressions Live multicultural event is going to take place, and we at Pulse E-Media are going to be there. So let's get back into the tech news for today. And like Devin is saying, the healthy competition is good. There's nothing wrong with some healthy competition. We need healthy competition in the tech world, because if you don't have competition in the tech world, then technology is going to get stagnant. So do I believe that it's a good thing? Yes. But there is just so much stuff out there that if you're not educated as to what's there, what services they offer, you're just going to get blown away and just buy things and don't know. And a lot of these things are coming out around $100, $130. So that's impulse buy territory right there. People looking for last minute gifts, people looking for something quick that's going to be good to get. This stuff falls right in that category. So as we get more information, we're definitely going to bring it to you. Now we're talking about Intel. Intel has been trying to get into the mobile system wars for a while now. Now, the reason why I say they've been trying to get into the mobile console wars is because, as you know, the PC market has been drying up. And the PC market and the desktop market, PC, the laptop and desktop, which combines with the PC market, has been declining as far as sales, has been declining over the past few years. And so Intel is just hurting as far as money. They've been trying to get into the mobile market for a while now, but the mobile market is ruled by Qualcomm, is ruled by NVIDIA as far as graphics chips, and Intel is a chip maker. But according to a recent report, Intel seems to have cracked that mobile market. According to a report, the Samsung Galaxy Tablet 3 series is launching with Intel processors. Samsung has officially announced its 10.1-inch Galaxy Tab and its 8-inch Galaxy Tab 3 Android tablets are going to be powered by Intel processors rather than the usual ARM architecture by Qualcomm. Rumors of an Intel processor in the Galaxy Tab 3 surfaced around the end of last month. It surfaced around then, although Samsung wouldn't confirm anything until recently. The reason for the move appears to be one of supply rather than deep-rooted urge to move away from the ARM-based chips. So it's a matter of supply, and Intel is telling Samsung, look, we have the supply. We have what you need as far as chips for your Galaxy S. Now, Samsung has not confirmed that the exact model number of the CPUs being used, only referring to the number of cores and speed, although the Clover Trail Atom processor are the likely candidates. The Galaxy Tab 3 8-inch will have a 1.5 gigahertz dual-core CPU, while the Galaxy 3 10.1-inch will have a 1.6 gigahertz dual-core processor rather than a quad-core. Now, here's where Intel has to really step up its game. If Intel can prove that their processors will not eat the battery life of these things, because tablets need to have at least 6 to 8 hours of battery life. Tablets need to have that, because that's the whole point of carrying around a tablet. Something that's portable, something that's going to last you all day. Nobody wants a tablet that's only going to be good for 2 hours, because the processor is going to eat up all of the battery. So if Intel can really show that their processors are power efficient, and their energy efficient processors allow people to be able to to use the tablets without worrying about when the tablet's running out before the end of the day and stuff like that. If Intel can do that, then definitely they're going to be able to have a voice in these processor wars that we're having. Well, with Intel, with Nvidia, with Qualcomm, because Intel definitely needs to get into this. They need to get into this market if they're going to survive, because the laptop market and the desktop market is drying up. I mean, if you go into any Best Buy right now and you're looking for a desktop, you're going to find maybe 3 or 4 choices. That's it. Maybe 3 or 4 choices in the desktop world. Laptops, obviously, you're going to find a lot more, but the desktop market is drying up, and the laptop market has not been selling in the same way as it has in years past. And so Intel finally broke in. So the Samsung Galaxy Tab 3, the 8-inch and the 10.1-inch is going to come with Intel processors inside. Does this mean it's going to be more expensive? We have to wait and see what Intel is going to bring to the game. According to Intel, remember, they were saying that their processor prices are going to come down to where PCs are going to cost, or laptops, PCs are going to cost under $200. So if their processor prices are going to come down to where PCs are going to be under $200, that means tablets can be under $100. So if Intel can really bring their processors down but keep the performance up and the power consumption down, as well as bring price down, I think Intel will have a strong case, and you're going to see many tablet makers moving to the Intel processor, because they're going to be able to sell their devices for cheaper, and they're going to be able to get their devices into the hands of more consumers. I mean, Devin, do you see this as a good thing as far as Intel saying that their processors are going to bring down the prices of PCs? And now that they're in the Samsung Galaxy Tablet 3, and the 8-inch and 10-inch, if their processors can not only be energy efficient, but also bring down costs, do you see Intel really getting a stranglehold on the, maybe even if not a stranglehold, breaking into the market where traditionally Qualcomm and Nvidia ruled as far as cell phones and tablets?
Yes.
And there you have it, a detailed explanation right there by Devin, telling you, everything we need to know right there. So, I mean, but what we have to understand is that Intel has been trying to crack this market for a while, simply because PCs have been slowing down. And now that they're on the upswing, now that they're on the, well, they're not on the upswing, but now that tablets are on the upswing, because tablets have been outselling PCs this year. In this year, tablets have outsold PCs, and last year as well, people have chosen to get tablets. So Intel sees that this is a market they need. They have to get in, especially companies like Sony, that we said on Friday, for those of you that are watching, that Sony's cash maker is not electronics. You know, I mean, you look at Sony and you say, well, that's what they're known for. When you think of Sony, you think of electronics. You think of TVs. You think of tablets and the Vizio, not Vizio, the Bio laptop. That's what you think of.
Yeah.
But
You know,
it seems that Sony, their cash maker, is insurance.
yeah. You know what the interesting thing is, and most people don't realize, is that because the competition is so stiff, the market, the sales might be great in
Right.
terms of the products, but they have to put so much into development and so much into marketing to compete that the
Yep.
margins are thin.
Right? And
You
for
know.
Sony, it's in the negative.
Yeah, it's in the negative because the others don't have to really put as much into marketing.
Right.
Sony has to put a ton of money into marketing to compete, where the others are a step ahead with just name value in
Right.
terms of, you know,
Like Samsung, for
Samsung.
example. Right.
People just automatically associate those names with the markers.
Right.
You know, so it's a tough deal.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, and Intel is another company that has name behind it.
That's
However,
right.
because they're only in PCs,
That's right.
that's what's causing them to decline. Not their name. Everyone
their
knows
name.
Intel.
Everybody
Everyone
respects
loves.
the
Yeah,
name
they
as a
respect
market.
them. But if you're only going to be found in a dying market,
Yeah.
then you're going to die along with the market.
You know what's funny? I know you don't have much time on this segment, but the interesting thing about the PC versus tablet market is size now.
Right.
Because people, I think there's going to be a settling point.
Right.
I know there's this new wave of bigger tablets.
Right.
So they came out big with the small, tablets.
Right,
The
7
6
inches.
7.
Right.
Now they're going to 10s. And really what you're seeing is that I think it's a demand thing.
Right.
I think partly demand, but partly test.
Right.
Because people are saying, man, I miss the size of my PC.
Right.
So they're trying to go portable with PCs rather than tablets with PCs.
Right.
And that's really the key, getting it smaller, all in one, unique packaging.
Right.
That's portable.
Right. And that's
so,
what the 10-inch
that's what the 10-inch
tablets
is.
are doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there'll be segments. There'll be people who want the small. I'm the guy who wants it as small as possible,
Right.
with as much functionality as possible.
Right.
And then there are people who just need the big screen.
Yeah. Like me. I got to have the big screen.
Yeah. For whatever reason, I don't know, but I don't need the big screen. I need the brick that I can hold at my ears.
Right.
and turn it over and go computing.
Do some work to it. Yeah, so I mean that's really where the market is shifting right now. So it's interesting. We're going to see how this thing plays out as far as Intel. Now that they're in the tablet market with Samsung, if they can really do well with that, and they can really say, you know what, we're going to show you that our processors are just as fast. We're going to show you that the power consumption is just as low or lower. We're going to show you that the performance is up, and we can bring the cost of your overall machine down for the consumer. If Intel can do that, I think you're going to see more companies jumping on the Intel bandwagon, and companies like NVIDIA and Qualcomm are really going to have to step up their game if they're going to compete in this next segment. Now we're talking about Intel, and interesting enough, as we're talking about Intel, they came out with their battery life, how do I put it, specs, if you will, for their next generation of processors, and we're going to get into that right after the break, because this might be something that most people are interested in. When you realize the kind of battery life you're going to be getting with the new Intel Core series processors known as Haswell, I think that more people may, and if Intel can implement this into their tablets, at least into the Samsung tablet coming up, this is going to be something that people really want to pay attention to. So we're going to come up right after the break, and we'll continue talking about this topic. Just stay tuned.